What is up, enthusiasts? It is Heater Flags here, and welcome back to another one of my videos. Bizarre is an adjective that means very strange or unusual, especially so as to cause interest or amusement, and that is no exception in the amusement park industry. As a coaster enthusiast who has been to many parks, I have to personally say that there are some great rides out there, but there may be a big problem in how repetitive or unoriginal they are. But there are some rides out there that I walk off of with a very long-lasting impression, a very eye-popping ride, something that is very unique, something that you do not see too often. And today, I wanted to start a little bit of a series. And I can confirm that this is only going to be part 1 of a massive series on my channel. Today, I want to start off the series of talking about the most bizarre, unique, weird, and strange rides that I have been on in my roller coaster travels. This is Cedar Flags, and today, these are some of the most bizarre rides I have ever been on in my life. One of the first rides that I thought of initially off the bat was a simple scrambler ride, and you might be thinking, why is a scrambler on this list? Well, it is in the presentation of the ride that makes this go absolutely crazy, because this ride is absolute sensory overload. This is Centrifuge at Casino Pier in Seaside Heights, New Jersey. Now, there are a few indoor scramblers out there that are great. I love indoor scramblers, but this ride takes it to an absolutely different level. First off, the queue is very funhouse themed. You go into a nice little tunnel, and there are so many different theming elements in the queue, and you aren't even on the ride yet. You sit down, strap in, and then all the lights turn off, and a massive strobe light pattern comes on, and you can barely see everything. You feel like you are traveling at the speed of light. And what better way to demonstrate that than playing extremely loud punk music? Everything from Rammstein to System of a Down. And if there's profanity, well, you're definitely going to hear it. This is a very fast scrambler as well, so imagine all those lateral forces mixed with the catastrophe of strobe lights with the absolutely massive loud punk music. Now, with that being said, this ride is definitely not for everyone. If you are sensitive to flashing lights and strobe lights, this ride probably would not be the best choice. And if you are sensitive to nausea or very loud noises, this ride, like I said, is not going to be the best. For our next spot, we go to a roller coaster that I have talked about pretty often in the past, but I really can't get over how unique this park is, let alone how unique the main attraction is. We are going to go down to Myrtle Beach in South Carolina to look at the one and the only Fun in the Sun. This is an SBF Big Air coaster, which is also known as the hamster wheel coasters. They take the rather normal and semi-tame experience of an SBF spinner and put it on a completely different axis. Instead of spinning, you are flipping now, which is very unique within its own right. But something about this ride makes it even more unique. The fact that its layout completely surrounds the rest of the park. This is more the setting than anything else, but all of the other ones I've been on, like Zola Loca at Casino Pier, it is within the center of the park. But this ride, no siree. This is located within the outer perimeter of Funplex Myrtle Beach, and you can see every single ride passing by you as you go along the ride. These rides are absolutely incredible nonetheless, and whether you get some extreme G-forces on it when it comes to whip or hang time, this is going to be a fun time at Funplex. Up next, we have the Funtime Rocket. Now, Funtime has made many flat rides in its day, but one of the more unique and standout attractions they have made is a rocket model. Take a normal Starflyer and make it go upside down. This is basically what the ride is. You board these very nice rocket-shaped cars, and then you go up into the sky, and it starts off as a normal Starflyer model. But as you go up, the axis of the car starts to flip you sideways and upside down. Sometimes it will flip you clockwise, sometimes it will flip you counterclockwise. Sometimes it will hold you there for a few seconds. Whether it be that or something else, this ride is an adrenaline-filled experience from start to finish, and one of the best hang time experiences I've ever experienced. And to counter that, this ride goes all the way up to an astounding height of 246 feet in the air. So imagine a Six Flags Sky Screamer that goes upside down. This is basically it. Now, the reason I put this model on the video is because it is a very rare model. In fact, I've only seen it at one place in the States, at coincidentally Myrtle Beach, and I really don't think there's been another one in the States since then. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the other ones are in Europe, and even there, this ride model is extremely scarce. This ride model is so unique and so unusual that I could not skip putting this ride on the list. For our next ride, we go to one of the most famous amusement parks in the United States. We have Dollywood in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Now, this is a very popular park, and you might have not expected it to be on the list, but there was a roller coaster that I rode there that really made me question why this was built, in all of the best ways possible. We go near the back of the park to see the in-house Blazing Fury. Now, this ride is unlike any other coaster, maybe except for Fire in the Hole at Silver Dollar City. This ride's sister coaster. This is a dark ride roller coaster hybrid, where most of the ride starts off very tame and shows you many scenes of firefighters and some buildings on fire and the Smoky Mountain landscape. The majority of this ride is definitely more of a dark ride, but the climax of the ride includes a series of several tall drops, and I really think that this is one of my favorite parts of any dark ride roller coaster hybrid. This is a very fun moment of the ride, and definitely makes you question what you just rode. And with all of that, the ride is over. It's a very long experience, very tacky, the theming is very cheesy, but that's what makes this ride so good. If you're at Dollywood, do not miss this attraction. And finally, we go all the way to Indiana Beach in northern Indiana to talk about one of the most unique roller coasters on the planet, and most certainly one of the most unique roller coasters that I have gotten the pleasure to ride. This is Lost Coaster of Superstition Mountain at the one and the only Indiana Beach. This is such a unique coaster, where do I even begin describing it? This was a CCI that was built in 2002, and was the last coaster that was fully developed by them. It was one of their last coasters, period, and it was, well, to say the least, very bizarre. This ride is bizarre 100% around. Everything from the carts, which are literal cages, to the ride's very peculiar and uncanny layout, to the fact that this ride has both an elevator lift and a lift hill. I mean, name another ride that does that. This ride starts off with that elevator lift, and you are going to be either forwards or backwards on this ride. You go into an artificial mountain that used to be a part of a dark ride, and you swerve in and out of the mountain for the duration of the ride. There's so many parts of the ride where it stops. You are surrounded by tacky theming, but it is all within the charm. You have many dips, including double downs, and if you're sitting on an edge seat, especially in the back or the front, this is going to be an absolutely insane experience. Nothing too intense, but intense enough to enjoy the ride as a whole. You have some pretty loud jump scares throughout the ride, and the animatronics and the overall figures of this ride make this ride so much more charming. And to top that all off, the ride ends with a lift hill that leads to the station. You get out of your cage and you talk about how really unique this ride really was. Anyways, have you ridden something more unique? Have I? Well, I will let you guys know in another video. If you want a part 2, let me know in the comments below. Anyways, until next time, this is Cedar Flags, and I will see you all later.